Good evening, students, and welcome in the online classes. Today we are going to study the kingdom Protista. So, children, let us study its feature. So, first feature that Protista are found in the aquatic place, means they are aquatic beings and they live in the aquatic habitat. Aquatic, when we say, we understand that they live in the water like river, lakes, seas, etc. And there are some protista like euglena. It stay in the stagnant water means the water stay in a one place like that, dirty water. So these are unicellular means they are made up of one type of a cells. They are eukaryotic. When we say, you must understand that it has well defined nucleus in the structure. You can say it has a well defined nucleus. They have membrane bound organelles such as mitochondria, endoplasmic reticulum, plastids, etc. So, in the previous video, we have seen that in Kingdom Monera there was no membrane bound organelles, whereas in Kingdom Protista it has membrane bound organelles. So, you can see in this picture, this is the picture in which you can see that it has membrane bound organelles such as this is endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi body, then mitochondria, contractile vacuole. So these all are membrane bound organelles. So they have for locomotion means movement from one place to the other. For locomotion they have pseudopodia. In amoeba you can see pseudopodia means false feet. It looks something like this when we make amoeba. This is false feet. These things which you are seeing, these are called pseudopodia. And they have cilia and cilia in paramecium like this when we make. So this part, this hairy part which I am drawing here, these are called as cilia. And this is flagella. So this is the picture of euglena in which it has flagella for the movement. So protista, you have understood that they are aquatic. They live in a water such as river, lake, seas. Then they are unicellular. They are made from one type of a cells. They are eukaryotic because they have well defined nucleus in it. They have membrane bound organelles such as mitochondria, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi apparatus, plastid, etc. For locomotion they have flagella, they have cilia, this outer hair like growth, cilia, and also like pseudopodia for movement in amoeba. Our second topic is mode of nutrition in Protista. So children, the three mode of nutrition are autotrophic nutrition, heterotrophic nutrition, and saprophytic nutrition. So in these three ways the protista gain their food or get their nutrition. First, they act as a producer. They are having photosynthetic pigment in their body. Means to prepare food, plants need chlorophyll, and with the help of chlorophyll they get the food in the form of sugar or carbohydrate or glucose we say. Similarly, this protista also having this photosynthetic pigment, and then they produce their own food. So they are very microscopic and thus they are called as plankton. So in the aquatic food chain, plankton are the primary producer. They are the one who begins the food chain in the aquatic life. Okay, so they are the primary producers in the oceans. And they get their nutrition by producing their own food. For example, algae is their diatoms. Diatoms is first thing for you. First time you are studying about the diatoms. Okay, so you should know what is diatoms. So diatoms are like soap. Okay, they are like soap. In that they have silica. Okay, silica is like an element, so they have silica in their body. And um, this silica is used for later polishing or for oil filtration, etc. So if they thousands of year it remains, because we cannot destroy it. Okay, we cannot destroy it, and slowly it get accumulated. So many silica get accumulated, and as they get accumulated, later these are extracted and used for polishing. Okay, polishing. And then these are also help in also used in the oil filtration. So this is about the diatoms. Later you'll be studying about more diatoms. Okay, so this is only an introduction that they are having silica on their body. Silica is an element. Euglena picture already you have seen. Paramecium further you are studying. So for photosynthetic autotrophs, you understood that these are producing their own food. Non-photosynthetic pigment, when non-photosynthetic heterotrophs, when we say, we understand heterotrophs are those mode of nutrition in which protista feed on other food, or protista feed on other organism. They also feed on diatoms because they are very microscopic. So they depends on other food. Next is parasites, or we call it saprophyte. These depend on the dead organic matter, for example protista, in the gut of termites and wood eating cockroaches. So these type of parasite always need a host in which it can go and get the nutrition. So this type of organism, protista, lives in the gut of the termites. It lives in the gut of the termites and the wood eating cockroaches, and in this way we get their nutrition. So this depend on the dead organic matter. It does not prepare their own food, but depend on the dead organic matter. There again a mode which is called as mixotropic, in which parasite have both the type of nutrition, means they prepare their own food when there is a sunlight, and when there is no sunlight they become as saprophyte, means they depend on the food which are dead and decayed. They start getting the food from the dead and decayed matter. Okay, so that is called as mixotroph, but it is not given in the book, hence I did not write here, but I am explaining to you what is mixotroph. So mode of nutrition, phototropic, means autotrophs prepare their own food. Non-phototrophs, in which they depend on other parasites, in which they need a host, and then they get their nutrition. Next is reproduction in protista. How protista reproduce or give life to a new ones, or generate its daughter cell. Okay, so protista reproduce asexually, means no fusion of gametes, male or female gametes. So these reproduce through asexual, by binary fission. Protista reproduce asexually through binary fission. Binary fission includes fission and forms two daughter cell. Let us see, this is example of paramecium. So here this one which you are seeing here, this is called oral groove. Okay, this is micronucleus and this is macro. Micro means smaller nucleus, macro means bigger nucleus. So this nucleus start dividing, and the oral groove which you are seeing here get disappeared. The oral groove which you are seeing here are disappeared. Now here you can see new oral grooves are formed. Elongation took place, hence division. After division, two nucleus are formed, and this, hence two nucleuses are formed. Now it will get separated. The cytoplasm will get separate and form the two daughter paramecium. There are two daughter paramecium from the parent paramecium. From parent paramecium reproduce two daughter paramecium. So in this way binary fission takes place and produce two daughter paramecium. Elongation took place, daughter DNA the nucleus divides. After division, formation of a new nucleus, and then division of the cytoplasm and formation of two daughter paramecium. So today we have studied about the features of protista. What was the feature of protista? All this we have studied. The mode of nutrition we have studied, that there are three ways through which and the protista get their nutrition. First is autotroph, non-heterotroph, and then parasite. Then we studied about the reproduction of protista. Hope students you have understood the topic. Thank you.